Hello and welcome to the Sunny Days podcast at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE.com. Sunny Days, the podcast that brightens your day with fun, uplifting stories, as well as a little bit of entertainment, news, a birthday, fun facts, and more. I'm your host, Jolly, and I'm so excited to be sharing some feel good minutes with you today. So grab a cup of sunshine and let's get started. Our first story today comes from Cincinnati, Ohio, the Cincinnati Zoo to be exact, and they are welcoming some giant additions to their family, two adult female Asian elephants. Shira and Anka join the crowd, and their calves, Kabri and Sanja. The new elephants join us all the way from Dublin. And right now, currently, they're settling into their new digs in the elephant track, which happens to be the largest habitat the zoo has ever built. The new arrivals will spend the winter getting acclimated to their new home and will make their first appearance next summer for us to see. But before that happens, Cincinnati's bull elephant, Sabu, will be the first one to meet and greet the new elephants when she returns from Columbus in 2024. I guess she's a bit of a traveler. After that meeting, other females like Shotski, Shira's aunt, Mai Tai, and Jetta will join in. It's the zoo's goal to let the whole multi-generational herd kind of run together freely in an open 5 acre space. Well, a very sunny welcome to the four of you and hope you're loving your new digs. Our next story is about an incredibly talented and gifted young piano player. Meet Matthew Whitaker. Now, Matthew has been playing the piano since he was a little tyke. And when he was just 5 years old, he met classically trained concert pianist Delia Shakas. And it didn't take her long to see this child had insane talent. Her words. Matt and his mom had gone to see Miss Shakas perform at her recitals, and she explained the Dvorak Piano Quintet is a piece actually for piano and string quartet consisting of 5 musicians and instruments. The following Saturday, when Miss Shakas walked into her studio, there was Matt playing the opening of the Dvorak, all of the pieces. An amazing feat, to say the very least. Matt has the ability to hear music once and know how to play it. Matt has played in such places as the Jazz from St. Louis, the New Orleans Jazz Fest. He's even played at Apollo. A truly incredible story for a child who was born with only a 50% chance of survival. He had undergone 11 surgeries to save his sight before he was even 2 years old. That's right, guys. Matt is blind. His parents noticed something remarkable when he was very little. He had an ear for music, and by the age of 3, Matt's grandfather brought him a keyboard. And his parents, well, they began a search for the best school for their child. And they found it in the Filomena D'Agostino Greenberg School. And that's where his story had begun with Miss Shotkus. That was the teacher that came in that day and saw Matthew. Teachers, they are amazing. You can find a video on our website at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE with more about Matthew. And now for a very special happy birthday shout out to a Mr. James Anthony, who's at Hickerson Elementary, where an entire kindergarten class learned sign language just to sing Mr. James happy birthday. Says one student, I felt really good when I did that because he was so happy. Teachers and staff alike were in tears. Mr. James says he was shocked. Seeing that class showed me that I was so important to them. The kids at Hickerson Elementary just love Mr. James, whose 60th birthday was made a little sweeter by that love. A sunny happy birthday to you, Mr. James. We've also posted a video if you'd like to see more at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE.com. And while we're talking celebrations, here's one for you. Congratulations to a Frank and Marie Ort. Our story comes in from KAKE, Inman, Kansas. Marie and Frank are celebrating their 75th wedding anniversary. That's right, 75 years. The couple married in 1948 at the age of 17 and 19. Frank and Marie have been together almost their entire lives. At 92 and 94, the pair told KAKE they have enjoyed almost every moment of it. It seems this couple has figured out the key of living a long life. So what is that? Well, according to Frank, good clean living and good whiskey. And what's Maria say? I knew he was going to say that, she says. And wild, fast women, he tells everybody. On the couple's 40th anniversary, they celebrated a vow renewal service with family and friends. This anniversary, the couple celebrated with more than 60 family and friends, some traveling from as far as Minnesota, Missouri, and Texas to see this happy couple. So, what's the key to a successful 3/4 of a century long marriage? Marie says, oh, when you get mad at each other, keep your mouth shut. You're better off. And Frank, well, he says lots of fighting and a lot of loving. Marie and Frank have 3 children, 9 grandchildren, and more than 20 great grandchildren. Quite the legacy. A super sunny congratulations, Frank and Marie. And now, our Cheers feature story, all the way from Indianapolis. And it's quite a story about a group of women that knit, hence their nickname. Well, part of their nickname, anyway. Their name, the Indy Drunken Knitwits. That just sounds like a fun group, doesn't it? Well, let's meet the Indy Drunken Knitwits, shall we? Regardless of the where and how this group meets, these women provide their knitted blankets to women's shelters in the Indianapolis area, as well as posting on their website network, having yarn swaps and projects Afghans for charity, and they will teach you how to crochet and knit if you'd like to learn. Now, the where and how these women work is genius. The where, well, according to their social media meetup page, they meet weekly in cafes, restaurants, and bars around Indy, as well as in their homes. And as reported by the Indy Star, here's their story from the Indy Star and in their words. Imagine it's a Sunday morning in Tiffany Barron's Indianapolis home. The smell of bacon and French toast wafts through the air. Laughter erupts from the living room as Barron busies herself mixing together vodka and tomato juice for Bloody Marys. And over Barron's shoulder, a sign hangs on the wall. The best wines are the ones we drink with friends. But an even better mantra, Barron says, the wine she drinks with friends while knitting. You got it. This isn't your typical knitting group, says Tiffany, who joined the crafting crew a few months ago. You can catch these knitwits at a couple of local areas. 2 of the group's choice bars are Top Cat and Union Bar. They also frequent Books and Brews in Broad Ripple, where they happen to be champs at Trivia Night. Some other adventures for this group, well, they visited a paint your own pottery studio. They've made special ceramic bowls to corral their yarn in. There was even a road trip to a fiber festival in Ohio. Then there's the annual holiday party with White Elephant Exchange, but cheesy gag gifts are substituted for the prettiest bundles of yarn they can find. The Knitwits once even took their own spin on a pub crawl, alternating between yarn stops and bar stops. I told you this has got to be a fun group. The woman behind it all, from the weekly event planning to the pun-filled names, is a Miss Angela Kickson, who has been a part of this group since it first got started. She said it can be a rather inclusive and chatty group. There's no filters here, she says, and we don't want to shame people. We probably do more talking than knitting and working on projects, but that's okay. Miss Kickston began crocheting when she was 8 years old, learning from one of her aunts. So the original founder of the group, Jamie Williams, loved knitting. And not only did she want to find a group of fellow needleworkers, she wanted to stomp out the stereotype that knitting was boring and a pastime only for older adults. The tipsy switchwits, as they sometimes jokingly call themselves, do more than sip cocktails and make scarves and socks. On Franken Knitting Thursday, members knit individual 12 by 12-inch squares of different colors and patterns, and then weave them together into a giant monster-like blanket. Before joining the group, a Miss Diane Webster often knitted with Mia, her Jack Russell Terrier. While Mia was quite helpful sitting on her lap whenever she worked on projects, Wessner wanted some more, well, human companions to craft with. My favorite thing about this group is that we always push each other and we encourage each other. I'm always trying new things and things I would have never tried without this group. And then there's Mandy McSherry. She began knitting in high school, but she put her yarn and needles to rest while attending Butler University. Since graduation, though, well, she's been on the lookout for ways to meet new people, which is how she found the Knitwits. I wanted to branch out, she says, and for someone who's usually very shy, it's always been hard for me to go out and meet strangers. But this was just the perfect place for me. And for Barron, well, there's nothing else she'd rather be doing this Sunday morning than sip Bloody Marys and spend time with her fellow knitters. The Barron moved from Texas and Indianapolis with her daughter a couple of years back, and she only knew two people in the city. She was looking for ways to meet new people also, which is how she stumbled upon Knitwits. I found this group, she said, knitting and grouping. And I'm sorry, knitting and drinking. There are two things that I do very well. She joked. Everybody here has input. Everybody is really kind. This is just the space where women can build each other up. And we do it while knitting and drinking. So to learn more about the Indie Drunken Knitwits, you can go and join their website at meetup.com. And no, you don't have to drink to join. So a sunny cheers to these Knitwits. And now for some facts. Fun facts. Did you know stuff from facts.net? Did you know that 10% of the world is left-handed? It is said that men are more likely to be left-handed than women. Various studies have also suggested that handedness of a person can be determined from the time they spend in the womb. Some studies also suggest that one's heritage may play a role in determining if someone will be left or right-handed. Did you know the average bear will have 42 teeth? Each adult bear will have a total of 42 teeth. This includes 4 prominent and curved canine teeth, 12 incisors, 16 molars, and 16 premolars and 10 molars. The claws on the bear's feet are relatively shorter than their teeth. Yikes. And did you know the most commonly used letter in the English alphabet is E? The second most common letters are T, A, I, N, and O. The least used letter in the English alphabet? You guessed it, Q. And here's a body, did you know? Around 8% of the world population has an extra rib. Yep, an extra rib. This is known as the cervical rib, and it comes from the 7th cervical vertebrae. This is considered a congenital abnormality, and it is located above the normal first rib. There is a 1 in 500 chance that a person will be born with this condition. Wow. And now our last did you know? Did you know honey never spoils? Here's one of the sweetest did you know facts about food. When honey is heated and strained and sealed properly, it will not be able to absorb moisture, and therefore it will stay as it is forever. The oldest jar of honey ever found is stated to be 5,500 years old today. Yo, I don't know if I would be trying that. But wow, what a fact. Well, now, some entertainment news. Here we go. News from DreamWorks Animation. Kung Fu Panda #4, the much-awaited movie is coming. Taking what could have been a silly premise, Jack Black's voice with a chubby panda who does martial arts. and it turned into something funny, heartfelt, and filled with great fight scenes. You will hear familiar voices like Jack Black, who will return as Poe, Dustin Hoffman as Poe Sensei, Angelina Jolie as Tigress, and Seth Rogen as Mantis, and so many more. The movie is set for release on March 8th of 2024. See you at the show, Poe. And more fabulous news from the music world. The wonderful Dolly Parton has released her new album called Rockstar. Dolly first hinted about having an album during the acceptance speech back in 2022 at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She said then, if I'm going to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm going to have to earn it. She later confirmed she would be releasing a rock album. And here we are today. So check it out, Miss Dolly Parton, new album Rockstar. And oh man, what a rock star she is. As we come to the close of today's episode, let's remember the stories we've shared today can serve as a reminder of the goodness that surrounds us every day. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So find your beauty, shine, and share it. Remember to spread love, joy, and positivity wherever and whenever you go. See you next week for new stories, entertainment news, fun facts, and more. Until then, peace and joy always. And thank you for tuning in to Sunny Days Podcast at jollyville.com. That's JALEAVILLE.com.